Hi all and welcome back to my channel. So my next 3 videos will be about Belize. In the first one, I'm gonna cover everything about Belize, what I liked, what I didn't like, and what to expect in general if you're thinking about the new destination. Today's video is a travel vlog. I'm going to share my honest experience in Belize. It's gonna be pretty direct, blunt, unfiltered opinion. So when I told my friends that I went to Belize, most of them were puzzled with the question like, why Belize? It's not usually at the top of the travel list. You know, people think about France and Italy or even like Costa Rica or Brazil, definitely not Belize. But here's my thought process. I've been to over 30 countries and I always try to go somewhere new when I can. So Belize caught my eye because it was only 3-hour flight from me, which is much easier than flying to, say, Los Angeles. And since they also speak English, I thought, why not? It sounds easier. So why Belize City? Yes, I researched a lot before going. San Ignacio looked like a great option for tourists, especially since you can visit Guatemala on the same trip, but it's a 3-hour drive from the airport. And I wasn't sure if I'm able to rely on the local transport or how much it would cost. So instead, we started in Belize City. Now, if you've read anything online about Belize City, it is dangerous. And honestly, it does feel a little sketchy. But that doesn't mean that we didn't have a great time. If I had to compare it to any other countries I've been to, it reminded me of Jamaica outside of the resort, but a little bit more tame. Like fewer street vendors hassling you, and especially downtown area looks pretty run down. We stayed at the Fort George Hotel for 2 nights, and the hotel is amazing. It's just a lot of construction going on, so it feels dirty outside, but the hotel itself is just the top notch. It is a great location right near the water taxi port and the cruise ship port, and it is just a 2-minute walk from the Belize lighthouse and the sign. This place is perfect if your goal is to visit the Mayan ruins, which was our main reason for going and staying there. We used the hotel airport pickup service. It cost the same as cabs, but it felt safer and more reliable. Realistically, even if you go and try to catch a cab, they're all have the same price. What about exploring Belize City itself? Honestly, I would not recommend walking alone in the old town or downtown areas. Maybe if you are in a larger group, you would be fine. Overall, I wouldn't risk it. We did pop into a couple of the grocery stores, but the grocery stores was slightly disappointing, so I'm not sure if that's worth the trip. For us, it was mostly to buy some water and maybe fruits, which we didn't find actually. So I'm not sure if we were at the bad time, bad season, or what, but we decided not to go back there the second time. You can pay almost everywhere with a credit card or the US dollar, so you don't have to do the currency exchange. And in fact, US dollars are widely accepted. Mostly locals greeted us, and yes, people sometimes asked for money or tried to sell us something. We just arrived to Belize about a couple hours ago, so here's the sign and there's the lighthouse. So the verdict is that Belize City is a great base for tours, but don't expect much else. There are no real beaches in the area, so you would have to travel outside, and not a ton of food options if you're near the ports. The main reason we stayed was to avoid stress of catching the morning ferry, since ferries run late, as we discovered multiple times. If that doesn't worry you, you could absolutely base yourself on the islands instead and avoid all of the hassle of staying in the city. We did go to a couple restaurants in the area, but it wasn't anything amazing to mention here. Next, the Caye Caulker experience. We spent some time in Caye Caulker and a lot of people online recommended it. Honestly, not really sure why. And let me explain. I don't need a luxury resorts to enjoy the trip. If you watch my previous videos, I'm all about saving money and staying in a place that is affordable but also safe and nice. I do think that the place that relies on tourism should have the infrastructure to support it. Unfortunately, Caye Caulker didn't feel like it. The first issue that I noticed was the golf carts. For such a small island, there are way too many golf carts. The roads are unpaved, so you get constant dust and fumes and noise from the golf carts just and it just destroys the experience. There are also no defined sidewalks, so it's impossible to walk for 30 seconds without a golf cart passing you by. If they just moved golf carts to the back streets of the island and left the main road for walking, it would have felt completely different. It would have been so much better. That was really a disappointment, all covered in dust the entire time. Second issue is the beaches, or rather the lack of them. Most spots have docks or motorboats right next to the beach, and the amount of algae is overwhelming. Like, I get it. The algae part is not something you can control, and it can be normal in certain seasons, but what shocked me was the amount of trash sitting on top of the algae. So think about bottles, wrappers, flip flops, even half of a broken surfboard. It's crazy. It blew my mind a little bit. And the smell was awful. Like that algae was sitting there for months and didn't just come here because of the hurricane. There are a few resorts maintained spots that looked so much better, but overall, the island felt neglected, like its glory days were behind it, which again was pretty sad. Moving on to cost and food. Some friends asked me if maybe it was more of a budget backpacker spot, and honestly, I didn't think it was that cheap. I was surprised at how expensive Belize was actually overall. A trip to the Dominican Republic to an all inclusive resort with all meals included was cheaper than what we paid to go to Belize, which is again crazy if you think about that. We did have some great food experiences at the Keys, and we stopped by the Belize Chocolate Factory for treats, and that was pretty awesome. So, if you are into chocolate or bringing chocolate as a souvenir, I highly recommend buying your chocolate on the island or on the mainland instead of the airport, because airport jacks the prices a lot. So next one, the split and ferry experience. As for the split, one of the most talked about attractions, honestly, it wasn't much. There is a bar at the end of the island and the sign that you can take pictures with like I did, but not a lot else to do or see. So I don't know why it would be such a huge deal. The ferry experience though was interesting. What I didn't know is that you don't need to buy tickets ahead of time, and I did that. And they sell actual paper tickets that aren't dated. It's first come, first served type of experience, and don't expect people to respect any lines. Just be prepared for delays and people just jump in a line, cutting the line in front of you constantly. Both times we took the ferry and it left about 30 minutes late, so also plan for that. The ride itself was really nice though, open water, views, tiny islands along the way, and it's about an hour total to Caye Caulker from the mainland. And if you have any luggage when you arrive, picking up the luggage would take another 15 to 30 minutes depending on how many people need to pick up their luggage. One hidden gem at the Belize City ferry terminal, there is like a really nice cafe tucked away at the end of the terminal, and most people don't realize it's even there because it's just all dark. We had breakfast and pastries while waiting on our airport ride, and it was really good. So check that one out. Overall, if you are visiting Belize City by cruise, just for Belize City, no, there isn't much to do in the city itself. You may walk around the port area, there are some souvenir slots and maybe hair braiding stations, but that's it. If you can squeeze a short Alton Hat tour, since it's only a half-day tour and close enough to fit your schedule, do that because it's amazing to see those ruins. And I'll be sharing my experiences with Alton Hat and Lamanai in my separate videos, as I mentioned. But Caye Caulker, it's okay, not yay, fantastic. If your goal is to check the countries off the list, then Belize can be one of your destinations for sure. So that's it, really quick overview of my Belize trip. Thank you for watching. If you've been to Belize, maybe to San Ignacio or any other areas, I'd love to hear it. Let me know and recommendations. And if this is your first time, please like, subscribe. I share travel videos and line dancing videos depending on my mood and recent experiences. So until the next time, keep living your life to the fullest and chat later.